Hey guys, never stopped hunting it today, and it has officially been a week since the 4th anniversary side, and I've got to say it has been very lackluster. The movie messed it up so that the banner, we only got one banner, which is very unusual, so that changed things up because the movie just messed everything up, and it kind of made it so that in terms of summoning there was only one banner, and content, I don't know what it really had to do with content, but content's been pretty dead. So I thought I'd try something different and thought I'd make a LF/Ultra tier list. So let's get started. Full power Frieza. Now I'm gonna put him in S. He is definitely a very powerful unit. He's kind of not in the best place at the moment because there are a lot of powerful red units just running about, making life pretty miserable for yellow units. But honestly, I still think LOE is a very powerful team. He's the main yellow for there, does super well, can do a ton of blast damage, ultimate damage, blue card. The green card is fantastic. Like, most things about him is just absolutely fantastic, so I'm definitely happy with him being in S tier. Now, Mui Goku, straight away I'm going to put him in Z tier. I think he's too ridiculous at the moment of a unit. His unique gourd makes it so that when people use a strike or blast attack, he counters with damage, and he avoids the attack completely so that they take damage and you're just there like, yeah, okay, you just got hurt for attacking and using your ki, which is ridiculous. He's got a pretty ridiculous green card that draws a strike, gives him his gourd back. His blue card is very powerful. His ultimate even more powerful. He does a lot of strike attack damage. He's got like card draw speed as well, like absolutely ridiculous. Definitely worthy of being a main headline unit for an anniversary, and definitely in Z tier. Okay, now the androids. Now here's a tough one. A lot of people are saying who's in the better position here. Is it Mui Goku or is it androids at top? And honestly, for me, I think the androids still top it off just by a bit. They just do too much. Like, Android 17 has probably one of the most powerful green cards in the game if you manage to land it off. A lot of people don't know this as well, but don't just hastily use that green card with Android 17 because it's a long animation. If your opponent vanishes it, they can attack you straight away. You can't vanish at all, so you got to be careful with it. And I've caught a lot of people lacking doing that, but they are absolutely ridiculous. The damage output is dumb. The ability to switch out, one gets health when using cards, one gets gourd recovery. Android 18 makes it so that her first time using a green card reduces your vanish completely. Very, very good unit. Just above Mui Goku, but I still think they're the best LF in the game at the moment. Okay, Zenkai transforming Super Saiyan Goku. Honestly, not too bad. I've seen him now and again, but honestly, if I'm going anywhere, I'm probably putting him in B at the moment. I don't think he's anything too crazy. More of a unit that Zenkai buffs other blue Saiyans and whatnot, so I think he's in B for now. Okay, Rose, honestly, not too good. There are instances where he can look good, where you're up against like a type neutral unit that isn't the craziest or doesn't have a defensive build, and he can do decent strike damage. He hasn't got the worst kit ever, but man, is it not good either. Like, he hits people for peanuts in like the top 3,000 of PvP. I don't think you'd ever see him in top 3,000 unless someone's trying to record a YouTube video. Like, he's just not that good. The only thing I think he really brings to the table is his endurance nullification that he has just permanently. That is very useful so that you're just freely able to rush most units other than revival units, and that's it. Sword of Hope Trunks. Now another unit I think is S tier. I really like this Sword of Hope Trunks. I was so gutted that he didn't return on this 4th anniversary banner because I wanted to get more copies of him, because I only ever pulled him once during the Legends Festival, got up to 5 stars, and man, is he a good unit. He can do a lot of damage. Once his unique gourd is filled, he is dangerous. His ultimate will just be catastrophic. His blue card is ridiculous. The green card filling up gourd if you don't have it filled up already is nice, and then giving you a new hand is very nice. I honestly think he's just absolutely fantastic, and on top of that, he has endurance to make it so that he's a pain to go up against. So a very good unit. Zenkai Lf Super Vegeta. Ooh, I actually didn't mention this, but I forgot to say that all LFs we're looking at are 10 stars, all Ultras we're looking at are 10 stars, and the normal Sparkings we're looking at are 14 stars. So that's the like range where you'd expect to see these guys actually be able to do the best they could do, I feel like. So Super Vegeta, and all the Zenkai units are Zenkai 7, 1400% and everything. So Super Vegeta, I'm gonna say is in S tier, but I honestly think there are a lot of other units above him that are better than him. I feel like he's towards the bottom of S tier, maybe even A tier, depending on how the next few options go. But I feel like he still does pretty well. He can do a lot of strike damage. He's got card draw speed. When he pops his main ability, he is a pretty dangerous threat. Like against, like I build my LF full power Frieza pretty defensively with some Zenkai buffs as well, and against my LF Frieza, who I do have 9 stars, who I've seen with like 7 stars, has done ridiculously. But as I said, if we're looking at him at 10 stars, he is pretty dangerous and very annoying to come across. A huge help for Frieza Warriors being their main purple, and him coming into the battlefield, getting key, drawing more cards is very good as well. So he is definitely up there in terms of LFs. Okay, full power Brody. Now, I was actually, the last time I versed him was actually in the Urine showcase I did, and I saw him at 14 stars do okay. So at 10 stars, it has to be D. Now, who's better out of these two? That is a tough choice. I'm honestly gonna give it to Brody. I feel like Brody can go a bit crazy if you're forcing your opponents to. Let's say you come across an Mui Goku with this Brody. He's got the type advantage, he's got the initiative, he's attacking the Mui Goku, and they switch out. They switch out and he gets buffs. You've used the green card, you've used a lot of strikes. You are doing a lot of damage with quite a lot of card draw speed, so he can be a pretty dangerous threat, but he just needs to build it up, and other than that, he's not too good. Okay, Frieza. Now, Frieza, well, the Zenkai first form Frieza, I think is very good. Very, very good unit. Probably the main purple for LOE, and honestly, it's fantastic what he brings. The blue card is incredible. He still could be a crazy tank unit. His ultimate hits really, really well, like super well. You'd actually be surprised at how many type neutral, type disadvantaged units get hit by that card, and it deals like 800,000 damage, which is a lot for an ultimate against type disadvantage. And he offers such great support to his team and everything. Like, it's really good what they did with him. Very well played from Legends. He has aged like really well. Super Saiyan Blue Evolved Vegeta. Now, he's the first unit I think is an A. I think he is good, but he is not what he used to be. I feel like he doesn't really tank as much as before, but he is pretty darn good because you still come across Mono Purple a lot, and him up against Mono Purple, it's not even funny what he does to it. He just forces them to swap, gets like all his buffs active when they swap. He has like, once again, infinite key, just doesn't go below 30, so he can use blast cards over and over again, and setting him up with the correct build, he is very dangerous. So I definitely think he is in A tier. Zenkai Super Saiyan 3 Goku. How the mighty have fallen. He is not in PvP at the moment. I haven't seen him in a very long time. It's a shame because he went from like being the best unit in the game to one of the most underused Zenkai LFs in the game. Like, you don't see him anymore, and it's a shame, but I still think he's pretty good. I'm gonna put him at high B tier because he still can do pretty well. It's just that with power keep and everything, he is nowhere near the top 15 or even 20 LFs in the game. It's pretty ridiculous. Beerus. Now, Beerus, you're actually seeing somewhat in PvP now because God Key is pretty prevalent in the meta. Like, you see green, red with Bardock, Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta, and Mui Goku a lot. You even see yellow, green, where instead of the UI Goku, it's the Ultra Kaioken Goku instead. And You see him on the bench, and now and again, you'd actually be surprised that people actually bring him into the match. You'd think they'd bring Vados over Beerus all the time, but you'd see them bring him and the Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta together, and he's not too bad at the moment. So I have actually thought he's pretty good and in C tier, so I'll leave him there. Purple UI Goku. Now, he is kinda good in this meta. Hearing me out here, it's mainly because he can pair up with MUI Goku, who honestly, together they are, I think I did make a video of this a couple of days back where it's absolutely ridiculous what they're capable of. They have the unique order making it so that they can just avoid blast and strikes. If your opponent goes for blue, you just vanish, and then you just like can either attack them if it's a perfect vanish, or like just wait until you get your vanish back with like, you could even swap out into the other UI Goku, do the exact same thing. This one just attacks with counters and everything, and honestly I'm gonna put him at the top of C tier at the moment. I think he is somewhat better. I think before I had him pretty low in D tier, but now he's upped his game a bit with this UI Goku. They just pair too well, and of course with him being heavily used in this meta, paired up with him is pretty darn good. Zenkai Lf Goten. Now, I think he's actually somewhat underrated on a hybrid Saiyan team where you have him with pretty powerful blast units. You have a Gohan at least. He does pretty well. I think he's at the, if I could put it at the top of C tier. Like, his blast damage is ridiculous. If you swap in from a Gohan and just go to town with blast, like you draw a blast as well, so you're just doing damage, and that damage is very good if you just quickly get all those blasts, especially if you have a green card to turn all your strikes into blast, make it so that he can do like the optimal amount of blast. I feel like at some point Goten can have it so that his blasts do more than his blue card, which is pretty insane. But I feel like the blue card is more, you want to get your vanish back with the blue card, because I believe it restores either 60% or 70% of the vanish back, which is pretty darn good in tight situations. I've had it so that thanks to him using a blue card, I've recovered my vanish. My opponent didn't know that, and I was able to win the match thanks to that. So I do think he's pretty good, just not top tier good. The Zenkai Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta, the current best Zenkai unit in the game. I'm putting him at the top of S tier. Like, he is fantastic. The sheer amount of damage he can do, even without the boost system from PvP and everything, he does a crazy amount. Like, 8 out of 10 matches you'll see a team with him on it. At least 5 of those matches he'll be brought into, because he just is fantastic. The strike damage is ridiculous. The green card recovering some health and giving it so that it does extra strike damage, extra special move damage, extra ultimate damage during a strike is pretty darn ridiculous. And then his main ability giving him cardinal speed, ultimate locking in your opponents. My days, blue units just don't survive when he's just on the team, so it's absolutely ridiculous what he's capable of. LF Grade 8 Vegeta. Now, I don't think he's crazy good, but I don't think he's crazy bad either. He's kind of in a mediocre position where I think he is in A tier. Like, he is very powerful. He can do nice strike damage. His area green card is very good to get off, especially for the first time, because you get a blue card. His blue card hits pretty darn nicely. It's got some nice animations to it as well. It supports him quite a lot because it makes it so that he can come into the match faster. Like, his sub count is reduced, which is very crucial. Like, if you think about how many times you've swapped out and you needed to swap out from a unit to like either tank or rush or cover change, that's what the blue card is for him, because he has endurance, which makes it so that after you use the blue card and the enemies have done a little combo, they go to rush, you can go back into him, tank the rush, and that's fantastic. And his ultimate, I honestly feel like he has got one of the most powerful ultimates in the game, because he does a lot of damage with the ultimate against a lot of units. So I think he definitely is worthy of being an A tier. LS Super Saiyan 4 Goku. Now, I actually think he is goddamn incredible, especially with his unique equipment. Like, as I'm basing this off at 10 stars, I think he's better than Purple Super Vegeta. I know a lot of people are gonna think that is ridiculous, like putting him in S tier, but it's just what kind of puts him down is the teams he can be put on. Like Saiyans isn't like a crazy good team. GT just doesn't exist really. You can only use a certain amount of characters from GT, which is pretty limited and kind of boring after a while. But his strike damage is crazy. Like I've used this full power Frieza once again on a very Zenkai buffed defensive team with HP buffs. This guy does like 800,000 damage strikes to him on like when he's got all his buffs active. Like it's absolutely ridiculous what he's capable of, and I honestly think he is, you know what, because of his teams I'm gonna down rank him just a bit because his teams aren't good. I feel like he's on the tier of S and A because thanks to the leader boost he can be the main yellow for a lot of teams. Like I feel like he can be your main yellow for God Key. Like I can see him pairing nicely with this Goku. Honestly, very good unit. He's got cover changes as well. His green card is decent. It's still pretty crap if I'm being honest. That's why I feel like if his unique equipment made his green card make it so that it comboed or something, they should have made it comboable, not just they toss the enemy to the side and that's it. So yeah, honestly, now that I think about it, I'm gonna put him at the top of A. Very, very good unit in my opinion, but his teams and his green card just demote him just a bit. But his ultimate and his special move plus his strike damage are very good. A very high damaging unit. Gordia Blue. Now this is a unit I think is in A, and if he gets a unique equipment this 4th anniversary celebration, he will definitely go up to S, and I feel like maybe even Z. They can make Gordia Blue great again. Like we're getting the free-to-play Super Saiyan Gordia who brings light towards Fusion Warriors a bit, and honestly I'm hoping he's either red or purple, but Gordia Blue is still pretty nice. He can do some nice strike damage. His blue card is nice. He recovers quite a lot of health when he like switches out then switches back in. His green card is still one of the best green cards to pull off. It's probably still my favorite green card. Like you absolutely destroy your opponents afterwards and it's absolutely ridiculous. His ultimate is pretty good. It's just that he isn't as damaging as what he once was, and that's why he needs a unique equipment to boost him to that level once again. Purple Revival Super Saiyan to Super Saiyan 2 Gohan. Honestly, not as good as it used to be, but he is still a pretty darn powerful threat. I'm gonna put him below Super Saiyan 4 Goku. Like he does a lot of damage before he is transformed through revival and everything. His green card makes it so that he comes in faster. He's got more damage and everything. His main ability heals his teammates, which is great. I'm pretty sure reduces his blue cards as well, so that's great. His blue card pretty darn powerful and makes it so that the enemies, no, not your enemy, the enemies, your teammates can get reduced sub count, which is pretty darn good. Then once his revival is gone, his strike damage is still very powerful to this day. His green card, the area 1, is very annoying if your opponent lands it off or if you land it off on your opponent. His blue card probably top 10 blue card in the game, especially if you pop the main ability with 4 cards in your hand. My days have I absolutely I've annihilated the androids with this guy once he's like popped his main ability with 4 cards in his hand. Like it does a lot of damage, and fair play to him, he is still pretty good a year later. Zenkai transforming Piccolo. Now he's good, he's very good, but Regen is in probably its worst state right now. I see Regen every 1 in 30 matches, if that, and I'm pretty sure it's the same person I'm versing that one time every 30 times. Like it's absolutely ridiculous what Regen are in. I still think he's worthy of being in S tier. I think above Gordia Blue because he is great. His defensive capabilities are fantastic. He can do very nice blast damage, especially once his transform. His transformation giving him vanish back is great. His green card like giving a blue in your hand, I think that happens twice, which is nice. and then the main ability is pretty damn ridiculous, destroying your opponent's hand. Yeah, that's pretty nice. Just causing them to have to wait and get cards again is very annoying. And then his blue card, very powerful. Kid Buu, once again, the same thing with Regen, not in a good position, but he is very good. I honestly think he's above Evolution Vegeta, because he is absolutely ridiculous. If you put him on a powerful opponent's team, you have this Frieza, you have some other very powerful, like you could have the LF Perfect Sound. That's 3 powerful opponents already. You just fill the bench with units that either buff defenses and health, and you got 3 powerful units there. This guy is ridiculous though. Like the green card he uses once his Vanish Gorge is gone, with card draw speed and everything, getting your Vanish back is insane. He restores Vanish like just for the sake of it, which not Vanish, restores Ki, which is very powerful. Like being able to just combo over and over again, have crazy card draw speed is ridiculous. His blast damage is insane, and I feel like he's definitely at 10 stars, top 5 blast damaging LF in the game. Like his blast damage is ridiculous. His ultimate also ridiculous. His blue card insane as well. Like he is very good. It's just a shame his teams don't really have the limelight, especially Regen. Majin Vegeta, honestly, the unit I thought was gonna be the next Zenkai LF. I was very surprised to see Vegeta Blue get it, but yeah, he's in need of help. He's in C tier, but he's probably the lowest in C tier. Like he can do decent strike damage. Once he's transformed, he is pretty good. His blue card is pretty nice. His green card, yeah, his green card is decent as well. I was trying to remember what his green card does because I haven't used him in a while. I'm pretty sure it's the area green card that draws a card. It might be a special move, but I might be mistaken. And then once it's popped his main ability and you get that blue card off, it is very powerful, and that blue card probably saves him from D tier at the moment. LF Bardock. Now, my days is this unit like one of the most hated or the most loved LF in the game. It's very confusing. Like I don't think he's too bad. Like I think he's pretty mediocre. He's more of an annoying unit at the moment, but he just didn't really do anything for his teams. He kind of just disrupts your opponents, and that's about it. He's not really the most fantastic yellow LF you could have in the game, and that's why I think I'm gonna put him just above grade 8 Vegeta, because I still think he has some pretty nice value for what he does for his teams. It's not really for his teams, it's for his battle members really. So whoever you're bringing with him, he is pretty darn useful, because if you lock in your opponents, let's say you lock in a blue unit with this guy's effects and everything, and then you swap into a green unit, they can't swap out. You absolutely tear them apart with the green unit, and that's their blue unit card, and that's pretty darn useful. Plus he has endurance, and he has some pretty decent damage as well, so definitely worthy of A tier. Future Gohan, my days, is he still one of... No, he is the best aged LF in the game. I think he is definitely worthy of being high S tier. I think he's just below Sword of Hope Trunks at the moment, because he's fantastic. He can still do great damage. Like I think in my Vegeta Blue showcase I did yesterday, which was pretty insane if you haven't seen it, he did really well. Like once he's type neutral, he does a lot of damage. I think when he weren't type neutral, I almost took out Mui Goku, who had full health. I think I used 2 strikes and the ultimate, and it took him down to like 400,000 health, which is ridiculous. And type neutral, he is really good. His green card is nice. His cover change is still one of the best in the game, because it just disrupts your opponents no matter what. Even if it's not a blast card, you're destroying 2 of their cards. Like that is a hindrance, because let's say you know that your opponent can cover change with this Gohan, you're gonna try and drop, and that you can manipulate by your opponent can manipulate you by thinking, okay, they're gonna think I'm gonna keep on attacking, and then they can time their drop well so that they can catch your Gohan off guard and absolutely destroy it. At least that's what I do, because there's been a few times where I've dropped with Mui Goku, they've gone into Gohan and bam, taken out. So it is high risk, high reward, but he is definitely a very good unit. Plus his blue card, if it connects, locks your opponent's strikes, and his main ability locks their green card and blue card. Like, you can have it so that they can only use their blasts or ultimate moves at one point if you get those off at the same time. Like, that's ridiculous. So yeah, fair play, he is very good. Fusion Zamasu, while halfway corrupted Fusion Zamasu, I think is another unit in need of unique equipment. He'd be probably way better than Super Saiyan 4 Gordia, but they'd have to handle it pretty darn carefully, because he can be pretty crazy with the amount of strike damage he can do. Like, future or powerful opponents are pretty good in the meta at the moment. He's paired up with these androids pretty nicely with these two. Like, you could have a team with him, Perfect Cell, this Vegeta, androids, and these two, and that's like a great team if you ask me. He has got some pretty nice options for teams. He's kind of being replaced for God Key, because God Key have got a new Reddit town and he is nowhere near them. But honestly, I think he is very good. I am going to put him above Evolution Vegeta in this case, because his strike damage is very good. His blast can also be very nice as well. His green card, locking in your opponent's being an area green card, make it so that he goes type neutral for 3 time counts, is dangerous, because the amount of blue units you come across that at type neutral, if let's say you pop the main ability, you get the green card off, use the ultimate move on a blue unit, let's say this Sword of Hope junk, you can take him out, which is ridiculous. And as I said, at 10 stars he will do a lot of damage, so he is very dangerous. And I think main ability makes it so that he can nullify endurance for 30 time counts, which is pretty dangerous. The one thing I wish they did for him is give him some, what is it, the ultimate move should have had blast armor on it. That's the only thing I have that's quite annoying about him, because there's been a few instances where I haven't used him for a while. I thought, yeah, I'll use him, I haven't used him in a while, I do like this unit, and then I forget that the ultimate doesn't have a blast armor on it. I see the opponent go for an attack, think, yeah, that's most likely a blast, I can use this ultimate, and then I get hit and I'm like, damn it, I forgot about that. It should have had blast armor, but other than that, I have no worries about this dude. Super Saiyan 4 Gordia, now he is still pretty darn good. I don't think he's as good as like he was 2 months ago. Like, he was much better a while back, but he is still very much S tier. I think he's just above this Gohan. Very good. Like, what do I need to say? The unique platinum equipment he got definitely saved him. I still haven't got the red slot for that equipment, by the way. Like, I've probably done 300 slot removers on it by now, maybe even more. I can't even remember, but it's very annoying. But he is very good. Like, his damage is nice, his green card is very good because it destroys the opponent's hand, gives him card draw speed, makes it, wait, does it give card draw speed? I don't think it gives card draw speed, but I know it makes it so that your opponents can't cover change no more. His main ability, of course, giving him that powerful ultimate move. He is very good, and then he has 2 cover changes that cover change. That could cover change 2 strikes, blast. Like, wow, 2 times he got a cover change against most attacks. Okay, I butchered that sentence, but it's fine. Okay, I'll talk about the honorable mentions after the LF, so we'll focus on the LFs for now. LF Jiren, full power now. Full power Jiren, I think, is... It's kind of a shame what they did with him. They should have had it so that what he gets after being rushed is what he gets permanently. He should have never had it so that after a rush... Well, it doesn't have to be him rushed specifically, it's just when your opponent rushes, he gets it so that he gets card draw speed. He turns into an absolute beast, which makes him pretty good. But you have to think, like, a lot of times your opponents are gonna manipulate it so they don't rush. Like, me myself, like, I see Jiren on the enemy team and I'm thinking, okay, I'm gonna wait until I take out Jiren so that I can then rush afterwards, and that makes it so that he's only at 50% of what he can be at most times. So I'm gonna put him at the top of A tier. I honestly think if they had handled it like I've been discussing, he would have been definitely higher up in S tier, but unfortunately he's in A tier right now. Also, if we think about it, I think that Legends made it so that LF Full Power Driven was gonna be the dual LF banner alongside Mui Goku for the 4th anniversary, but because of the movie getting delayed, they had to fill in that gap that they had for the Dragon Ball Super superhero. So they thought, okay, we're gonna take this Jiren banner and we're gonna put it here instead. So they made it so that Jiren, like if you think about it, look at the format of the banner: 1 LF, 1 Sparking, 2 Extremes. It's both Tournament of Power based. They had it so that there's MUI Goku, a Full Power Jiren as the LFs. Then they had Transforming Vegeta for the MUI Goku, and then they had Beerus that nullifies Endurance and Revival. They then had 2 Extremes for the Goku banner that are Tournament of Power based, and 2 Extremes for Jiren that are Tournament of Power based. Like, they were all just Tournament of Power based, so I don't really need to mention more about that. But I think they had to change things around like that, which kind of sucks because it would have been nice to have them both released at the same time, because it would have just been a bit more hype, added like a lot of hype to it and made the anniversary slightly better. But because of that, they had to change. That could be another reason why some content was changed, because they might have had some content that have involved like Full Power Jiren and whatnot, but they had to like cut that out because they didn't release Jiren at that point, so we missed out on some stuff there. But that's a big maybe. Okay, Zenkai Super Saiyan 2 Gohan, pretty good still. Like, he's not top tier like he used to be, but a very powerful unit. On Hybrid Saiyan, still the main red unit for that team, and he's just insane what he's capable of. Last Man Standing, he's still one of the biggest. When he's Last Man Standing, he is top 5 units that to be terrified of. Like, my days can he go crazy, and his blast damage is very, very good. On a Hybrid Saiyan team where you have this Goten with him, he's going to be going pretty crazy with it. So yeah, he is very up there, because it's mainly his damage that brings him to life now, and his main ability when a battle member has been destroyed makes it so that he can do terrifying damage against blue units. So yeah, he is very good still. Vegeta Blue, soon to be probably at the top of this list. He is very, very good still. Like, if you didn't see the showcase I did of him yesterday, check it out, because my days was he still doing pretty darn good strike damage and everything. Like, he can tag pretty well. I'm trying to think, when will they release this dude's Zenkai? It's gotta be probably in a week and a half now. I don't think it's coming this reset, probably next reset, but he's gonna change the game completely. In terms of ranking though, at the moment, I don't think I'm honestly gonna put him at the bottom of A. There's no way he's better than any of these units. He is kind of competing with Gordia Blue, but Gordia Blue is better than him overall, so I think that's a safe place to put him. Perfect Cell. Now, I've had a lot of people say Perfect Cell is not like a top 5 unit in the game, not a top 5 LF in the game. And I've got to say, in terms of LFs, I do think he is pretty up there. I wouldn't really say top 5. I probably, actually, he can maybe be top 5, because if we're looking at it, I'm gonna put him just below 4. So at the moment, I've got him in my top 5. He's my 5th. But honestly, I feel like he's more top 7 LFs in the game, because once he got his unique equipment, if you get that unique equipment to like Z or higher, they're just, even like a pretty good S does a lot for him. Like, the damage he does is absolutely ridiculous. Revival units should be terrified. Hybrid Saiyan should be terrified. Like, he's on some of the best teams in the game. Him and the androids, still you get to see them together still to this day, and they do fantastically with each other because they cover trade blasts and they just tear into your opponents once they get going. So absolutely ridiculous what he's capable of. Like unique gorge, once that's filled as well, he is absolutely terrifying. I've come across a lot of people who have that unique gorge so that it's built 35%. I think the only unique platinum I've got for a unit that I've got it so the last slot is red is this 4 power Frieza. The rest I've only got it to the second best gold slot, which is very annoying because I do try to make those red but they just don't turn red for me. But if you have it red, it is ridiculous because it gives more base health as well, and having that gorge filled 35% is pretty dumb because I've had a few instances where in 5 timer cards they've got their unique gorge filled and I'm just like, god damn it, he's just gonna be absolutely shredding throughout the whole match. So yeah, pretty darn good. Tag Goku and Vegeta. Now this is why I was saying he could potentially be top 7 because honestly these 4 or maybe even these 5 here could be arranged in any way really. It just depends on your personal opinion. This is how I'd arrange them. I'd bought the Tag Goku and Vegeta above Sal. I still think they're absolutely ridiculous. Like Goku is so annoying to come across when he uses his greed card. Like he just destroying your key, destroying your card. There's been so many instances where he's destroyed the card I've clicked on and I've gone for like attack blast or even worse, tackle, and they've just used the green. They've seen me going for like something. There's been instances where I've used the blue thinking, yeah, they're gonna use their blue and my blue and connect and do a lot of damage, and they've destroyed that blue. I've gone for a tackle instead and they've just absolutely torn into me and I'll just be like, oh my days. And then just the sheer strength they get from tagging out from each other. Vegeta being an absolute blast demon, make it so that if you use a Vegeta and your opponent swaps, you are in danger because he's just gonna 4-card you with blast to death. He will most likely get another green card thanks to his card draw speed and everything and absolutely tear into you. So yeah, definitely worthy of being a top 5 LF in my opinion. And that sorts out all the LFs. Now let's take a look at the 2 ultras now. Kaioken Goku. Kaioken Goku has lost a lot of value since these 2 have released. These 2 being the best red units in the game, arguably one of them being the best red, obviously. In my case it's the androids, but it could even be everyone Goku in some of your opinions. But thanks to these 2, he's not at the top anymore. I don't think he's too terrifying to come across anymore. A lot of times you'd have to bring like either the Tag Goku and Vegeta, make sure that you swapped out into Vegeta to be able to tear into him, as there weren't really, like if we take a look before these 2 were here, who's the next best red? Gohan? Out of all the LFs, like Gohan would be your only chance to really tear him apart. There's a few other sparkings that you could have had that were red, like Omega Shenron. You could even use Zamasu and that would be pretty good, but honestly there weren't too many options. But now having 2 top tier red units in the game is dethroned him pretty well, and I've got to say he is still very annoying and very powerful. Like him locking strikes constantly is the worst thing Legends have done. Like it's close to being Hero Hercule level up. Why did they do this? Like it is very annoying every single time. They should have locked it so that it happens even 5 or 6 times is still a lot, but over and over again, my days, is ridiculous. But he is still fantastic. Like the card draw speed he could get, the green card is very good. Him being able to restore vanish with his gorge, making it so that he can just keep on attacking over and over and over, because you fill the gorge, you get your vanish back, you've got card draw speed, you get a green card, you use that green card, you get another card, you use that card, you combo into another card because you got card draw speed. You then pop your main ability, which makes it so that your opponents can't cover change. It nullifies blasts so that you can just go through it and tear into your opponents is ridiculous, and he just does a lot of damage. So he is definitely Z tier. There's no other way about it. Nothing else to say about that, and that's Kaioken Goku for you. Ultra Super Gordia. Honestly, I think he's got a lot of worth now that the meta is heavily red dependent. I feel like he is better than Mui Goku. Just like, if I'm saying these three are like millimeters away from each other in terms of like strength, you could honestly put Ultra Gordia at the top, and I would say, yeah, fair enough, he can be at the top. You could put Mui Goku at the top. You could put D3, like, you could even put Ultra Goku at the top. It'd be pretty tough to like argue that, but you could in some instances. But honestly, I feel like Ultra Gordia is probably the second best unit in the game, best Ultra in the game. Like, he got a lot of value thanks to the red units being dominant. Like, I feel like once, even when this dude, he still has the boost in PvP, which is crazy to think about because it's been like, what, 2, maybe 3 months since this dude released. He's been in the featured section for a long time, but Ultra Gordia is just an absolute beast. The card draw speed he has is ridiculous. The strike damage just tears into your opponent. Once you fill up the gorge, you get a blue card, you get more key to use that blue card. Use that blue card. His blue card is so annoying if it lands on you, like destroying your whole hand. Like, let's say you haven't filled your Rising Rush yet and you have 3 Dragon Balls in your hand. Gone. Doesn't matter, the blue card destroyed it. The blue card does a lot of damage as well. He could do a lot of blast damage. His green card is very good to get off as well because it makes it so that you don't have to worry about your opponent's cover changing at all. You can just absolutely bombard them with the sheer amount of damage this dude can do. And then this is what, in my opinion, this is what makes him absolutely ridiculous. When a battle member is gone, he locks in the opponents twice upon like entering, which is ridiculous. He's type neutral for that, which is ridiculous. And if he's last man standing, he'll draw. He's the only unit ever to have it so that he could have the ultimate twice. He has it from the main ability and he has it if he's last man standing. And that ultimate is top 3 ultimate in the game. Definitely very, very powerful, up there with the amount of damage it does. Like, I've come across instances where I think during the Legends Festival, I took out, I tagged Goku and Vegeta with full health when he used his ultimate. Like, that's how much damage it can do if this guy is just absolutely pummeling into your opponents. Absolutely ridiculous. And I think this is, I'm actually pretty happy with how this turned out. There's gonna be a few of you that absolutely love my tier list or absolutely hate it, and there's gonna be people in between. So let me know what you think about this Legends Limited / Ultra tier list. I'm gonna do the honorable mentions in a few seconds, but yeah, I'm pretty happy with where this is at. I don't need to make any changes to this at all. Like, yeah, that's fine. Now time for the honorable mentions. I've got 3 honorable mentions because 2 of them I think are too good not to mention, and then 1 is the Vegeta, who is the newest sparking to the game, who I do think is very good. Honestly, we'll base him off first. Honestly, I'm gonna put him below. Actually, I'm gonna put him lowest S tier. I think he is very good. A lot of people, you know what I don't get? A lot of people are hating on him because he can't tank too well, but I've made it so that he has a defensive setup and he tanks so well. Like, I've got some pretty powerful defensive equips for him that are like Z tier or like very powerful awakened equips that will help him out, and my days does he tank like a champion. I know the most annoying thing about him was that he is a revival unit, and that is the main thing about him that disappointed me about him as well, because if he was a revival unit, he went from Super Saiyan, once his revival went to Super Saiyan Blue, it's ridiculous. But man, it also, the conditions to transform are very annoying. They should have made it so that it has to be so that he goes below 50% health or after 50 time accounts he could change, because that's very annoying. There are a lot of instances when he's in Super Saiyan form, fair enough, he isn't the craziest tanking unit in the game, and you can tell there's a lot of times where he's just absolutely got destroyed in Super Saiyan form, and they're like, damn it, I can't do anything. Like, if you come across the androids, they go into Android 18 and they use a blue card on him in Super Saiyan form, he's dead. There's nothing you can do about it. And honestly, it is annoying, but if you do manage to get the transformation off, first of all, you get the health back, which he restores a lot of health. And then he's got, like, I'm pretty sure he gets permanent card draw speed. He can get more card draw speed with the green. His blue card hits pretty darn nicely. His strike damage is nice. Even though he's built defensively, his damage is very good. So you'd want to build him defensively no matter what, because it makes it so that he tanks great and he can do a ton of damage. So that's my opinion of him, and that's why he's my honorable mention for being the newest Saiyan and being the fourth, not Saiyan, the newest Sparking, and being the 4th anniversary's main Sparking. Golden Angel Frieza, absolutely fantastic, competes with the best of them. Definitely top 10. I'm gonna put him just above Legends Limited Perfect Cell. I feel like he's just absolutely fantastic. The amount of damage he does, like, his blast damage is insane. The blue card doing damage against purple units is fantastic, because purple units still take a lot of damage from him. Like, his Z ability is pretty good because it makes it so that blasts do more damage, and his blasts are already, like, prior to him being 6 stars and getting that Z ability is ridiculous. So having that additional 2% to just pure blast damage is ridiculous, so that he could just go crazy. He restores ki upon drawing cards. He restores a lot of health with the main ability. Like, he restores so much health. There's been instances where you pop the main, he restores health upon drawing cards. I believe that's the case, if I'm not mistaken. I haven't used LOE in a while, but I'm pretty sure that's the case. So when you pop the main ability and get a full hand of 4 new cards, it gives health, and then you get health from drawing those cards as well. So it's absolutely ridiculous how much he can heal. And what else do you really need from a unit? He does healing, he's doing super crazy damage, he's a threat. My days is Ultra Gordia just absolutely destroyed by him. There's been so many times where I've seen that they want to go for a strike and neutralize my blast card with the blast armor, and he does 150% more damage against blast armor. My days does Ultra Gordia get shredded, like half its health gone, maybe even more if you've been like buffed up and everything. Absolutely ridiculous. Definitely worthy of being in S tier, and definitely a top 10 unit in my opinion. And then there's the revival Final Form Frieza, who honestly I need more stars off, man. I've got him at 3 stars and I think he's top 10. So, well, top 10 Sparking in the game, top 5 definitely. Now, in terms of relating it to Legends Limited and not Zenkais and Ultras, I'm gonna put him, he's definitely in S tier. Like, these 3 units are honorable mentions because they are definitely S tier, and he's in between Super Saiyan 4 Gordia and Future Gohan. I feel like he is just too good. One, before he's transformed, like, his green card, I'm pretty sure is pretty much the same animation wise for once he's transformed and post transformation, but it is very good what it's capable of doing. It's pretty beneficial because you draw blast and everything. The main ability, very good. Once he transforms, like, the main ability destroying 2 of your opponent's Dragon Balls, make it so that once you transform, like when he loses that first revival life, it reduces your enemy's ki, so they're just standing there unable to do anything really. And once it's transformed, it's absolutely ridiculous because the blue card does a lot of damage, destroys your opponent's hands. His green card, I'm pretty sure, locks your opponents when it lands, which is great, and his damage is great. He gives nice support to his teammates as well, so fair play to him. He is definitely up there in terms of just every unit in the game, and that's all I'm gonna do for my honorable mentions. And overall, that's where it is without the honorable mentions. I'll show the without the honorable mentions at the moment because I feel like you'd like to see the final version of the Legends Limited / Ultra tier list, but there you have it. I'm actually pretty glad that I put these units where they are. I feel like this is pretty good in my opinion, and I'm not gonna go over it again with like all your opinions and whatnot, but definitely top 5 units in my case is Legends Limited, Tag, Android 17 and Android 18 on number 1, Ultra Super Gordia is number 2, LF Emerald Goku is number 3, Ultra Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken Goku is number 4, and 5th place is, you know what, I'm gonna put him in Z to make it so that the top 5 are in Z tier. So 5th place is this Vegeta, and other than that guys, I hope you enjoyed. If you did, hit that like button, and for seeing more in the future, subscribe. I'll see you on the next one. Goodbye.